coffee before. We've made thick juice before. But can we make thick resin?
Normally, resin is very flowable, so it can reach all of the nooks and crannies of your mold. But if it was thicker, it might be something we could shape by hand, like clay or Play-Doh, and that opened a lot of possibilities for future projects.
So there's the silica material that can be added to resin to thicken it. And we're gonna keep adding more and more until we find the perfect ratio to make moldable, sculptable resin. This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for all your website needs.
Resin time.
Resin
Ow, ow, ow.
Resin time, resin time, do resin time. We went into this experiment with a plan. First, we just mix some normal resin to get a baseline of how thick it is. And next, we try some standard recommended ratios of silica to resin to try to get a few different textures. Somehow, multiple people across the internet have decided that the textures to aim for are ketchup, mayo, and peanut butter. So let's see if that's accurate.
All right, first up, we're gonna look at pure normal resin, which is supposed to have the consistency of syrup. And I actually wanna compare it to syrup. Bring out the syrup. Welcome to the resin stage. So this is 100% pure maple syrup, which is the only syrup that I consider to be syrup. Now, I think that this is pretty dang liquidy, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's more liquidy than resin. What if that means all of the food comparisons are off?
All right, let's not jump to conclusions. I want to make it look more like resin. So I'm gonna
More like syrup?
more like syrup, thank you.
This is totally unnecessary, by the way. This is just the control, I will remind you.
Yeah, but we're gonna do this with all of them. We're gonna make the ketchup consistency look like ketchup. I need this. Okay, guys. Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that is pretty liquidy. One thing I do know is that plain old control resin is not gonna be moldable.
No.
Very much liquid.
If I like pinch this between my hands, which I've done a lot, it's just gonna slide right off.
Yeah.
And if you pour it into a mold, like this 0% control mold, it'll just flow to fill the entire area.
Ketchup.
5% mix, which is supposed to be like ketchup. Let's do it. Oh wow, this stuff is so weird.
Whoa.
It's like lighter than air almost. It is just so lightweight.
It looks like little snow fluffs sitting on top of resin. How does it feel? Does it feel thicker?
Just wait until you do it yourself. It's gonna remind you of mixing in thicket. Now if I add a little bit of red, will it look like ketchup? I think we need maybe a little bit of black also. As of this moment, this does not look like ketchup at all.
I understand that making things actually look like the food consistencies is totally not necessary, but this is fun for us, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with us.
I need it to help me compare it to the actual ketchup we're gonna be looking at later.
What if we get it so good we can't tell what's what? And then we dip our fries in it. I think a drop of yellow.
Yellow?
Mm-hmm. It's like too pink. Ketchup is a warmer red.
Oh yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah, it still kind of looks like a slushy, but...
Now, of course, also, 15% is in the range of ketchup. Maybe 20% might have been better, who knows? But this is supposed to be ketchup-like. This is not ketchup-y.
This is not ketchup at all. The best ketchup.
The best ketchup. Yeah,
I mean, look, it's like holding a peak.
That's holding peak.
That's holding peak. If you scoop it.
Hold it sideways, it does slide off, but it takes a while.
It takes a while, and some definitely holds on to the stick.
Yeah.
That's definitely not ketchup.
Well, here, let me look up more information. Let's add 5 more.
Okay.
A carefully calibrated 5% more. It's definitely not ketchup.
No. These earlier consistencies we're trying, obviously they're not going to be moldable. This is partially just for us to get a feel for this silica material and how it interacts with resin. But I'm okay moving on because it's not like you can mold ketchup anyway. Let's see how it pours.
It pours just like normal resin.
Yeah, it's really not slowed down at all. I'm hoping that some of these samples we can kind of heap it up in the middle.
Yeah, I want a bump. If I did that with ketchup, there would be a mound in the middle.
There would be a bump. Ketchup's not gonna spread to fill the container.
Okay, well, maybe mayonnaise will actually hold its shape.
Maybe mayo. Okay.
40% added. This is basically a doubling of the max we did on the other.
I so fluffy and weird. Get in there.
Looks like it's resisting mixing in.
Yeah, it's really wanting to sit on the top. I'm kind of burying it a little bit. There we go. There we go.
We might need to do it little by little. Whoa, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of white.
To make it mayonnaise-y?
Yeah, and like a hint of yellow. Wow, that's really yellow. Are you serious? Oh my God.
It looks like egg yolks.
Let me add more white. That was one drop.
You know, it's okay. It's okay.
Mayonnaise adjacent.
Everything on this channel is adjacent.
Maybe this is like a homemade mayo, you know?
Yeah. But even then, how thick is it? It's not that thick.
Yeah, it's not that thick. It's
thicker.
It's thicker, but it's still thinner than ketchup, and it's definitely not moldable.
I mean, the substance is doing what it's supposed to do, just not at the rate that we were told.
Yeah.
Like, the substance is only doing what the substance can do. It's other people's misinformation that's bothering me.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's what I want.
Look at that.
It's so globby.
Like mayonnaise is significantly like thicker and more full-bodied than ketchup.
Yeah.
Look at that. Woo. So shapely. Look at that. It probably even like jiggles. Look at that.
Yeah, jiggling peaks.
You know, I love the color of your homemade mayo, baby.
Thanks. I think, you know, it got there. It's a very rich looking mayo. Kind of looks like vanilla custard.
This is significantly thicker.
Yeah, it is. But I don't think it's gonna like support a peak in our mold.
It's not at all. Go ahead and try it. I mean, look at how thick that stream is.
The stream is thicker. This is like almost getting close to like a silicone. Definitely not gonna hold a peak.
No.
And it's definitely not moldable. It looks like we have like dipping sauces. Like if you went to a restaurant, they have little fancy homemade donuts and it's like, oh, we have the maple, the raspberry, and the vanilla custard.
Vanilla custard, yes.
Wee-oo, wee-oo. Alert, there's a new merch drop at shopevanandkatelyn.com.
We've got cocoa shirts, which will increase your style and scare your neighbors.
We've got Struggle Craft Club shirts for everyone whose crafting doesn't always go smoothly.
We've got Resin record shirts if you want a fun retro design inspired by our resin record.
We've got Internet Wizard shirts if you too feel like the internet is a magical place to find all sorts of strange goods.
And we've got a new make, fail, make design if you want something a little bit more subtle.
You can get all this and more at shopevanandkatelyn.com. Peanut butter.
75%. Maybe this will do it.
Now, the range for peanut butter was much bigger than the other food example consistencies.
Yeah, it was like 70 to 100.
So we're gonna try 75 and 100.
Yeah. You know, I'm realizing now that we're kind of being a little bit silly.
Uh-huh.
What we could do is we could keep on adding the silica until we get a ketchup consistency. We could keep on adding it until we get the mayonnaise consistency.
But I prepared all these labels.
Oh yeah, this is getting really thick.
Oh yeah.
Like on top, this top stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
nice and goopy. Wow.
It's definitely not peanut butter.
This is not
It's weird peanut butter.
peanut butter.
That looks like something else.
Ketchup?
This is like honey.
Do I even try to turn it into peanut butter color? I can pour some brown in here and just illustrate.
I was about to say, what if we go crazy and we just add more of the silica? But no, like, I'm trying to resist that because we need to know the measurements that work.
Yeah, exactly. For future, oh my gosh.
Oh God. Okay, so this isn't peanut butter, this is chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding. I added way too much.
Oh, it's glorious.
Let me remind you, it's thick.
It's thick.
It's really thick.
We love it.
This has no resemblance to the consistency. But I saw people mix this into the point where it did get this thick.
Okay.
I know it's possible. We just need to keep on adding. I mean, that's a thick, goopy pour, but it's
just like, it doesn't seem that much thicker than the mayo one, if I'm being honest. I mean, we'll try the 100, but then we go crazy. Or we can just skip the 100 and just start going crazy now.
Let's just start going crazy now.
Okay.
I have crazy vibes.
I have crazy vibes too. Even though I want to go crazy, I want to go crazy in a controlled manner, okay? Like I want to measure how much we're adding. I'm going to go crazy a little bit at a time just so I can integrate it. Okay. So
this is 100%.
This is 100% increase, AKA we have equal parts resin and silica. This is the most we've done. Ooh.
Oh, that looks like snot.
Yeah.
This is snot consistency. This is not ketchup or mayonnaise or anything. This is snot.
Might be a little thicker than ketchup.
It's thicker than ketchup, but like still flowier than mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You want to increase?
Okay, I'm adding another 50. Maybe I shouldn't have done that all at once. Become peanut butter. Become peanut butter.
Holy moly, look at that.
Getting pretty thick.
That's getting pretty clay-like.
This, I feel like you could kind of mold it and squish it.
Wow, this is getting a little bit peanut buttery, or I think mayo-y.
It's thicker than mayo, for sure. Now, one thing that we do wonder is this resin gonna actually be strong, or is it gonna be weaker once it cures because it's been like diluted by the silica material?
Now, the silica material is supposed to provide like a 3D mesh structure, so maybe it'll be stronger, maybe it'll be weaker, but I bought a hardness tester specifically for this so that once these are all cured, we can test how hard they are.
I tried to get the peanut butter color a little bit more, but kind of looks like a baby poop color.
It looks like, I was gonna say baby food.
Or baby food.
Baby food before or after going through the digestive tract.
Baby food at some point in the cycle.
Or pause while stirring and see if it holds its peaks in there. Ooh, look at that down there in the cup. It's not settling back.
I think this might be the first one that doesn't just immediately fill the mold.
Yeah, I mean, most people use this for like filleting corners on boats and woodworking and being all like responsible with this knowledge and this technique. Not us.
We have other plans.
Oh yeah, that does look like peanut buttery.
It does kind of look like peanut butter. This is the first one, but this has actually been an option. Oh yeah, okay. It's definitely not moldable, but that's partially because it's so sticky. It's not moldable, but I think if you wanted to like stick it in a spot and have it not move, it's not gonna move. It looks like a caramel sauce.
It looks like a synthetic lubricant.
Or that.
Like for ball bearings.
Oh.
Not a case, May. Not a clue.
Someone in this godforsaken city must have a case to solve. What? Yes? The local hostel says they need help finding out how their competitor made such an amazing website.
Hostel? Those days are behind me.
No, Jack, it's like where people stay.
Who do I speak to?
The owner's name is Mrs.
Mistress? Those days are behind me.
No, Jack, her name is Mrs. Sue.
Sushi? I'm not really in the mood.
I hear you're working on Sue's case.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. I already got a suitcase.
Listen, her competitor uses Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video.
Squarespace is an all-in-one platform for anyone's website needs. You can choose your domain name and start with a professional template. Or you can make a completely bespoke website using their cutting-edge Blueprint AI design tools. You can even showcase video content on your website or accept donations. No wonder the hostel's competitor had such an edge.
Just give this to her, and Squarespace will take care of the rest.
Go to squarespace.com/Evan and Katelyn for 10% off your first purchase, huh?
So I think we finally got to something.
It just took a little bit more than we were thinking.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of failed tests. But they're not failed. They're for science.
Let's see what 200% is like.
Time to get real crazy.
So this is the 100% added. Ooh.
So you just added another 50?
Yep.
Okay,
Another
dumped out
50.
even more.
Oh, this is peanut butter. This is peanut butter. Stiff peaks.
Stiff peaks.
All right, I think that's pretty good.
It looks like a sherbet or something.
That's fine.
Okay.
This is getting tiresome.
Fine. Okay. Whoa, it won't even come off the stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that peak. That's awesome. Oh my God. Be careful, don't fling it.
It's too gloopy.
You're gonna need something to scrape the spoon.
Oh, it's just like peanut butter.
Yeah.
You need another thing to scoop it off the thing.
This is it. So this was 200% increase.
Yeah, look at that peak. I'm gonna leave it just like that.
Wow, look at that peak, y'all. Oh God.
This is like peanut butter, but it's also honestly 100% what it reminds me of, because I worked as an engineer for many years and I dealt with a lot of grease and silicone lubricant and stuff like that. And this makes me think of bearing grease.
Yeah.
This is the exact consistency of bearing grease. Real sticky, real gloopy.
Yeah.
I think that if we can't thicken this to the point where this becomes moldable like clay, I think that it would need to add some sort of dry substrate to this in order to like make it moldable. Do you know what I mean?
We're learning things.
We're learning things. I have ideas on how to solve the sculpturalness issue, which will be in another video. But for now, I think let's let these fully cure, see if those slump down over time, and then see how hard they are. We've reviewed the time-lapse footage, and even the 200% thickness slumped a little bit.
A little bit, but honestly, it didn't slump too much. I'm pretty impressed by how thick it stayed.
Yeah, now one interesting thing, if you look at the footage really closely, you'll notice that both of these thick ones slumped a little bit, then expanded and changed color. I think that there's a little bit of thermal runaway on these.
Yeah.
But I think that these are still going to be useful formulas for us going forward into the future. But what I'm really curious about is, are they still as hard as normal resin?
Yes.
So I'm going to bust out my hardness tester.
So this is the control we're testing.
Control test.
Control test.
And what's it say?
0.83.
83.
Oh, 83.
Yeah. Now.
15% ketchup. I mean 15%. 15% increase with silica.
84.
It's harder.
Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna do one more test. 85. I wonder if the 3D mesh formed by the silica actually strengthens it.
40% mayo.
86.
The trend is continuing. Oh my gosh, this is so unexpected.
85. Whoa, weak over here, 77. Most consistently, I'm getting about 85 though.
Okay.
Another thing that might be happening for those low ratings, I might be pushing on like a bubble. I'll try to hit not on a bubble. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
84, 83.5, 84.5. Okay, so these are about the same.
Consistent. This is where I'm getting concerned.
I'm gonna have to just do it by hand like this. Ready?
Yeah.
Whoa, 62.
78.
Now I think, again, how this measures hardness is this pushes out with like 15 pounds of force or something like that. This pushes out with a fixed amount of force, and it sees at that fixed amount of force, how far does this needle extrude? So if it's not against a perfectly flat point, then it's gonna give a weaker strength rating. And basically that means if I'm pushing against a bubble, it's gonna be weaker. Everywhere is quite bubbly on this. 81.
Well, and bubbles can also mean weakness. So if there's more bubbles, that is something to consider.
Yeah, because in thinner resin, bubbles can rise up.
And escape.
Plus it cures a little bit slower when it's thinner.
In thicker resin, it tends to cure faster, which traps the bubbles, and the bubbles have more material to travel through before it cures.
Like if I go right here into a really bad bubble, it's gonna be horribly weak. Yeah.
37, yeah.
Yeah, because I went into a bubble pocket.
Yeah.
Let's move on to 200%. 85.
Whoa.
85. 82. Okay, so I think this is my conclusion. Resin is resin. I'm just testing the hardness of the resin we're using. And I think the silica just makes it thicker. It doesn't really affect the strength much at all.
That's kind of what I'm getting. And if there is any effect on the strength,
it's because of bubbles.
It's because of bubbles being possibly more likely to form.
Yes.
But this makes me very hopeful.
I think this is a totally usable technique and material. I'm excited to share some weird things that we're gonna make with it.